Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Mesillas Yesharim. And yesterday the Ramchal asked the question, why is it permissible for a person to involve themselves in a life of precious where they separate from the pleasures and the desires of this world? The Torah already asked it, already prohibited many things. The Chachamim, the sages came around and they prohibited many things. They put up many fences to protect us from trampling on the mitzvahs. There's already a lot of precious, there's a lot of separation that a Jew has naturally and inherently with the mitzvahs between ourselves and the desires and the lust of this world. So if that's the case, why should we be entitled, or why should we even think about taking more upon ourselves? Don't we say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us enough to be separated from? So he writes, Hatshuvi, the answer is, Ki aprishus vadai tzarech mukhrach. This concept of precious, of a person separating themselves even more from the lust and the desires and the pleasure of this world, is something that is needed, and it's mukhrach, it's a proof, it's a necessity. V'hisiru alav Chazal, and Chazal have informed us about this. Hu mashiamu, like it says, kedoshim tiyu, it says in the Torah, kedoshim tiyu, you should be holy. What does holy mean? So the Torah's Kahanim, Chazal explain, prushim tiyu. You should be people who separate. Holiness means separation. So the more that a person separates from the mundane of this world, the holier they're going to be. Oid Amru, it says in the Gemara, Kol yeshe b'tainis, anyone who sits in a tainus, they fast, which means that they withhold themselves from eating food and enjoying the pleasures of this world. Nikra Kadosh, they're called a Kadosh, a holy person. We learned that out from the case of the Nazir, the Nazirite who takes on a 30-day Nazirus, a vow upon himself not to drink wine, not to cut his hair. He's doing it all for the sake of Kedusha, and therefore if a person sits a day and they fast, that's holiness. It says further, a righteous person eats just enough to satisfy his nefesh, his soul. He doesn't go to the all-you-can-eat salad bar or eat all the wings that you can buy the Super Bowl. He doesn't have a 74-ounce latte that he drinks every morning to get himself going. No. Tzaddik oichel l'seiva nafsha. He eats just enough to satisfy himself. Chizkiyahu melech Yehuda. This is referring to Chizkiyahu, who was one of the kings of the Jewish people. Amru alav, it says about him, yeah, he had just a little bit of vegetables and a little bit of meat that they used to put on his table every day. And the Jewish people would laugh and they would scoff at him and they would say, this is a king? You have some little garden salad and a little sliver of meat over here? That's what a king eats? Yes. Chizkiyahu was a tzaddik, and therefore Chizkiyahu didn't want to overindulge in the pleasure of this world, so he ate the minimal what he needed to eat. It says furthermore, Rabbeinu HaKadosh b'shas misasai, at the time that he was about to die, Zakav Esetz Ba'isa Va'amar, he lifted up. Now Rabbeinu HaKadosh was a very wealthy man, but at the time of his death, he lifted up his 10 fingers and he said, Golivi Yadu Lefanecha, it's known before you, Hashem, I did not derive pleasure from this world, even from my little pinky finger. He was rich, he had it all. No, anything that he did it, he used it to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He did not indulge one extra iota in the pleasures of this world. Further, before a person davens to Hashem that the words of Torah should enter in to his innards, that he should really be able to be makabel, to receive the Torah properly, yispalel ala achila u'shasiya, he should daven about eating and drinking, shelo yikonsu b'seich me'av, that they should not enter into his innards, which means Hashem should help him to hold himself back and protect himself from the overindulgence in the physical pleasures of this world. Then he'll be able to allow the Torah to come and sit inside of him. You see from all these statements of Chazal that they explain explicitly, there is not only a necessity for a person to be a parish to separate, rather it's an obligation. Nevertheless, says the Ramchal, we're not done yet. we need not to go through the other statements that our sages say, which seem to represent the opposite idea, which is that precious separation is not a good thing. So we have on both sides of the coin, there are statements that say it's a good thing, there are those that say it's a bad thing, and now we have to reconcile these two statements to understand how we're supposed to live a life where we're serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu properly, we're precious, where the separation from the base desires of this world is what's appropriate in the eyes of Hashem, and yet we're still enjoying the world and deriving the benefit from this world and using the world in the right way, the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would like us to. Have a wonderful day.